Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Sniper Scalping Systems Roadmap to Success session this afternoon. I'm really excited to have each and every one of you here. I want to start off today's session. My name is Andy Carlson, and I want to start off by asking how many of you out there have heard of me before or heard of the Sniper Scalping Systems before? I suspect that this might be a relatively new audience and that maybe a bunch of you guys haven't really heard of me before. I'm thinking that's the case, and I'm kind of excited by that. So I'm getting a lot of never, have not, no, so that's awesome. Anybody else? Give me some feedback, guys. That is great. I love when I get into a new sphere of folks, and it looks like that is the case today. So we got a lot of people that have never really heard of me before, and that gets me really excited. I do a lot of webinars, inside of the futures trading bubble. There's about probably 15,000 futures traders out there, and if you get into a futures broker or using NinjaTrader, you tend to get a lot of information through these webinars, and that tends to be the same audience. So I'm super pumped that you guys are here, and I have a new audience to share some stuff with. Whenever we do an event like this, we always do our due diligence. Make sure you read over the risk disclosure and disclaimer. We can make a lot of money as traders, right? That's why we do this, but it's also a very real reality that every time you place a trade, you're putting your hard-earned money at risk. So make sure you understand all the dynamics involved in that. Here's what we're going to look at today, our basic agenda. There's a big lie that most traders out there, regardless of what style of trading you're doing, we tend to tell ourselves this lie. I don't know if we originated it or if the industry originated it or if the industry just takes advantage of the lie. But we're going to get into a little bit more detail and talk about it. And this big lie is that the system, all I need is this really great system. If I can just find the right system, I'm going to be successful. And the system is part of it, but the system alone is not going to make you a consistently profitable trader. And so many educators out there really prey on that reality. Buy this next greatest system or course, and you're going to be successful. And it doesn't work. It really doesn't. Okay, we're going to talk about three main concrete reasons why traders that have failed for years and years. I've had a few guys come through the Sniper program in the last 12 months or so that have spent $50,000, $60,000 on education, 5, 6, 7 years of trying to make this work, and they haven't been able to. And in a few 3, 4, 5 months of being with the Sniper program, they've become consistently profitable. Three main reasons why that is. And then we're going to talk about the Sniper roadmap, and really this is the core and this is the meat that I want those of you that are not yet consistently profitable traders to really sink your teeth into. It could shave years off of your learning curve. Whether you ever take a look at what we do specifically with the Sniper program, and it doesn't matter at all whether you become part of the Sniper family. In other words, this information that I'm going to share with you guys about the roadmap to success could make a huge difference for you. Absolutely huge. It's a staggering statistic that 95% of traders fail. Guys, if you talk to any broker out there that's willing to be honest with you, that is a very real, staggeringly scary statistic. Now, the 95% level has to do with short-term day traders. So, if you're a longer-term trader, the statistics aren't quite as bad. But individuals that are trying to short-term day trade, 95 out of 100 people trying to do it fail. But guess what? I got good news. We're going to turn that statistics on its ear, and we're going to show you how. But following the roadmap is a big key. And then we're going to look at the charts, and we'll show you for the last 10, 15 minutes, we'll show you exactly what the Sniper auto signal calling indicators did in the market today. And then I'll give you guys a free trial offer. All right, so the big lie. If I can just find that right system, I'll be able to make money and be successful. I would say that, and this is not an exaggeration, okay, it's probably almost the same percentage as those who succeed and fail. About 95% of traders that I run into have that mindset. You know, just tell me what to do. Give me a system with exact rules and I will be successful. And guys, it's a lie. It is not true. And if you don't, you know, if you're not sure what I'm saying is accurate or not, please stay with me, okay? Because I'm going to give you more evidence. But it is not true. I could give you exact trading rules to follow to a trading system and plan that is 80% successful and that myself and, you know, others trade really profitably. And if I gave that exact system with the exact rules to an audience this size, guess what? The majority of you, don't be offended by this, it's just the way it works, the majority of you would find a way to screw it up and to not be profitable with it. And that's the reality of this crazy thing we call trading, because there's so much more to being consistently profitable than just the system. And if you don't spend any time on the other factors, in fact, most people trying to learn to trade, those of you that said not yet consistently profitable, almost assuredly, you don't even know what all of the pieces of the success puzzle are, because nobody's told you. The educators and systems vendors out there, they don't tell you because they don't want to spend the time to have to work that hard to help you with it. A lot of them don't even know, but the ones that do, you know, they want to sell you systems because that's the fastest way for them to make money. But the reality is there are so many other pieces to the puzzle that if you don't have them, no matter how great your system is, you will not be successful. You know, that's really the bottom line. And that's the next bullet there is, without all the other pieces, failure is almost a certainty. The other weird reality is putting the pieces together in the proper order is also really important. This will probably resonate more with futures traders, but all of you might be able to understand, you know, kind of get where I'm coming from here. But is it not our human nature, if you get a new system or a new technique, what's the first thing you want to do? You get a new system or a new technique or a new idea, what's the first thing you want to do? You want to run out and play with it, don't you? Don't we all do that? You want to run out and sim trade it. Hopefully you don't put your live money at risk, but you want to start to look at it and play with it and, you know, use it. Am I wrong? I don't think I am. You know, I work with a lot of traders and I know that that's the first thing people want to do. Guys, that's the wrong order. That is absolutely the wrong thing to do. When you do that, you're building roadblocks to your eventual success, that the only way you're going to be successful is to have to tear down those roadblocks, those mountains, brick by brick, shovel by shovel, to eventually be successful. We're going to talk about the correct order and the right thing to do. And this is an obstacle that is really tough for us to overcome at the Sniper program, because our systems look really awesome, and they are awesome. But when you guys see what the Sniper tools did in the live market today, you're going to say, where can I get me some of that? And you can imagine how difficult, once I show it to you, how difficult it is to get people not to just rush right out and start playing with those things, because they look neat and flashy, and they are, you know, they look like you can just make money. But the truth is, unless you know all the pieces of the success puzzle, unless you do it in the right order, you will find a way to sabotage yourself. That's just it's sad, but it's true. I've worked with so many traders through the years, and we all have different backgrounds. We all have different psychological baggage. We all have different, you know, risk tolerance. We all have different patience. We all have different ability to stick to the plan, all these different things. And unless you put all of those things into the right order and into the right system, you're not gonna succeed. Okay, so here we go. 3 reasons why traders that have failed over and over and over are now finding success. They stop believing the lie. That's the number 1 thing. If you believe that if you just find the right system you will be able to make money, the chances of you actually becoming consistently profitable are very small. So the number one thing, if you're here today, if you don't leave with anything else, stop believing that lie. The system alone, no matter how great it is, and I know that doesn't seem to make logical sense, because logically you're sitting there thinking to yourself, Andy, if you tell me exactly what to do, I will do it and I will be successful. I know there's a bunch of you out there thinking and believing that, because I believed it. You know, I had a mentor 13 years ago, and I believed I could trade. Just tell me exactly what to do and I will be able to do it. And when the rubber met the road, his style did not fit my style, and even though he was making money and I knew exactly what I was supposed to do, and if I had done it I could have made money too, I could not do it. And you think you're different than me, probably you think you would be able to do it, but I just know, working with as many traders as I have, that it doesn't happen. You need to be able to mold a quality group of systems and tools that have a quantifiable proven edge around who you are as a person, about your key trader characteristics. That's how you will succeed. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. So they started following the roadmap, and the roadmap tells them what all the different pieces of the success puzzle are, and they started to follow that. Okay, and then number 3, assimilating the sniper tools and systems and techniques. They're very visual in nature, and it makes assimilating them a lot easier than most of what other people have done out there. So here's a higher level view of the roadmap. First, we talk about the motivation. We got to convince you that it's worth it to follow the roadmap, because it's much easier to just believe the system is going to save you if you just find the right system. So we'll talk about the motivation. Then we'll give you a higher level graphic depiction, illustration of the roadmap process. And these are the roadmap steps. Trader key characteristics, self-assessment. Almost nobody does that. Almost nobody. But without doing that, not only doing that, but truly understanding all the elements of it and the importance of it, you will be one of the 5%. Or excuse me, you will be one of the 95% who fail. Almost nobody does this. And this is all about knowing yourself and then building a trading plan around who you are. Because you can't trade like me, I can't trade like you, and so on and so forth. You need to build the trade around who you are as a person. Knowledge acquisition, we're always going to be gaining new knowledge. Trading plan development, so crucial. If you talk to 1,000 successful traders, 98% of them will say they have a clearly defined written trading plan. How many of you that are not yet successful have a clearly defined written trading plan that you could hand to me and I could execute it? Because it has that level of specificity. I suspect the answer is very few. But without a clearly defined written trading plan, failure is almost a certainty. Backtesting, simulation trading, live trading. And then we'll summarize it all up for you. So here's the motivation. 95% of traders who try to short-term day trade fail. That is staggering. Are you kidding me? Who would get involved in something where 95% of the people that tried to do it fail? But guess what? I got incredible news for you. It's not nearly as difficult to become a consistently profitable trader as that statistic would imply. The reason that statistic is so high is because of the big lie and the misinformation. Nobody's out there really giving traders what they need to succeed. There's some great, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to slam everyone else. There's some great educators out there. There's some great system vendors out there that have good products. But what my contention is, almost all of them do not provide you with all of the pieces. They provide you with one piece, and their piece might be really good. But unless you know what all the pieces are, you will not succeed. Okay, so I'm not saying that I'm the only good one and everyone else That's not what I'm saying. But what I do want you guys to hear clearly is if you do not know what all the pieces of the success puzzle are and how to put them together in the right order, your chances of success are almost nil, and you know, you could spend a long time and a lot of money trying to get there. Okay, diligently following the Sniper roadmap will very significantly increase your probability of becoming part of the 5%. Here's the graphic illustration. We're always going to be acquiring knowledge all the way along. Okay. The first step of the roadmap process is assessing key trader characteristics. You have to learn who you are as a trader. Without a clear and very real understanding of your strengths, your weaknesses, who you are as a trader, you will not, the odds and probabilities of you succeeding are very small, yet almost no one does that. Okay, once you've done that, then you have the ability to take the knowledge you've acquired and actually draft a trading plan. Okay, so this applies to all you guys. It has nothing to do with sniper tools. I mean, those of you that feel like you have a quality trading system, you need to follow this process. Okay, you don't, if you have a really quality trading system and stuff, you don't necessarily need my tools, but you do need to follow this process, in my opinion, if you're going to succeed. Okay, so you need to understand about yourself, and then you need to draft a trading plan in which you're molding your trading system, and hopefully the one you have is able to be molded, because most aren't. You mold your trading system around who you are by creating trade specifications and a trading plan. And then once you have that, then and only then, you can start backtesting. Okay, and after you do, if you have quality backtested results, then you can move on to sim trading. Once you have quality sim trading results, you can move on to live trading. If at any part of this process you make an adjustment to your trade plan, you go back and start at the beginning. That might sound harsh, but it's not really. And every time you go back to the beginning, you get more efficient at the plan. And we've proven it, guys. We blow the statistic of that 95% of traders fail out of the water. I mean, we blow it out of the water. So let's look at each element real quick here. Key trader characteristic self-assessment. Your self-assessment of the following key characteristics should strongly influence your trade specification decisions. If you don't know about yourself, you can't possibly choose or pick a trading plan or create a trading plan that you'll actually be able to trade. Pattern recognition, anticipation, creativity and experimentation, information absorption and reaction time. How are you at these things? Are you really good at pattern recognition? Do you absorb information quickly? How about your reaction time? You know, are you really good at executing your orders, or does it take you a little bit longer? Well, you're not going to be able to trade a plan that, you know, moves really fast and you only have 7 or 8 seconds to make a trading decision if your reaction time's slow. So that's just an example. You need to create a plan around who you are, because to some degree you can improve in all of these areas, but the reality is we don't change all that much really. Yes, you can improve. You can become more patient. You can become more disciplined. We help traders do that, no question. But it's more important to know where you're at and build your trading plan around where you're at than to say, okay, I'm going to, you know, even though my reaction time is terrible, I'm going to trade a trading system that moves at lightning speed. It's just not a good idea. You're probably not going to be able to do it, right? Risk tolerance, trading experience and knowledge, time available for trading, account size, all these things you need to really understand and build a profile of who you are, so you can then take your quality systems and tools and mold them around who you are. In the 90 Days to Success program, we show our clients exactly how to do the above self-assessment. Knowledge acquisition. In addition to trader key characteristics and in preparation for developing a trading plan, backtesting and simulation trading, there are 4 critical areas that you're going to need to master. Okay, trade specifications. What must be included and how? How do you even put a trading plan together? How do you create the trade specifications? Most people don't really know how to do that, okay? Indicators and tools. You got to know everything you can know about your tools and your systems and your indicators, so you can then choose what's going to be right for who you are. Trade management, position sizing, account management. You need to gain knowledge on all these areas so that you can properly put together a trading plan that has a chance to succeed. During the 90 Days to Success program, we devote many training sessions to all of those topics. Trading plan development. The more consistent our trade specifications are with our correct assessment of our key characteristics, the higher probability of success. So the more you know about yourself and the more you create a trading plan based on who you are, the larger chance you're going to succeed, guys. That's what it comes down to. We cannot backtest correctly without a complete trade specification, and without a correct backtesting, all we're really doing is gambling. Okay? Therefore, we need a trading plan which includes our self-assessment of our key characteristics and our trade specifications at a minimum. That's all we need for the 90 Days to Success program. Later on, we can add other elements that come up to complete business plan standpoint. Well, one of the traders in the audience says, what about adjustments? That's, you go back through the process. Remember that map? Anytime you make an adjustment, you go back to the beginning of the roadmap process and you roll through it again with the adjustment that you've made. It might seem harsh, but again, you get really efficient at it. I can't tell you how many times, I mean, it's probably in the hundreds of times I've gone through the roadmap, you know, iterations back and through. So here's what backtesting looks like. Backtesting is how we determine whether each trade specification has a statistical edge. If we don't backtest, it's like an amateur gambling at the casino. The house is going to always win. Guys, I'm not a gambler. You know, I am all about emphasizing and maximizing a quantifiable proven edge. I have no desire to, you know, throw a dart at a dartboard and hope that it lands where it needs to land. We must analyze a significantly large and diverse enough sample of trades that completely fit our trade specifications to be confident that our trade specification has an acceptable statistical edge. During the 90 Days to Success program, we teach you how to backtest manually. So crucial, so absolutely crucial. The manual hands-on approach has so much more, there's so much more value and importance in it than just the data that you end up with at the end. Yeah, the data is important, but going through the process plays such a large role in your eventual success. Using market replay for multiple time frame indicators, the Sniper Scalping package contains one of the most sophisticated and powerful forward-looking analysis indicators in the industry. It's pretty doggone cool, and it functions over 10 different time frames. It actually gives us a very boiled down, easy to understand picture of what 10 different charts are telling us all at the same time. It's pretty cool. We'll show you that in a little bit. Record keeping, generate performance profile, and most of all, make tradability decisions. Okay, that's what our back testing does for us. Simulation trading. Guys, I'm a real stickler for, there's no excuse to lose a lot of money as somebody trying to learn to day trade. We've all heard the horror stories. In fact, I'm sure many of you have some of your own horror stories of people losing tremendous amounts of money. My traders that listen to me, and not all of them do, but the people that listen to me don't lose a lot of money. I'm not saying you won't ever lose any money when you're transitioning from sim trading to live, but you won't lose thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. There's no excuse. The technology nowadays is amazing. Simulators are just as good as trading live as long as emotionally and mentally you can treat it that way. And I'm sure in an audience this size there's plenty of you that are saying, no way, you know, sim trading is not the same. And here's I'd be happy to fight that battle with you. And what I want you to hear me say is, this is my firm belief, and I've proved it from working with hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of traders, that I agree. It is difficult to treat a simulator like it's a live account. That's not easy. It's difficult. But if you can do that, I believe my contention that it's just as good as live is an accurate one. And then I step back and I tell you that if you don't have the discipline necessary to learn to trade a simulator like it's a live account, then my contention for you is that you do not have the discipline necessary to become a consistently profitable trader. Let me say that again. If you do not have the discipline that's necessary to treat a simulator like it's real, then my experience has told me you lack the discipline necessary to become a consistently profitable trader. So why not fight the battle there? Why not fight the battle of learning to be disciplined enough to treat the simulator like it's real and not lose thousands of dollars, okay? And that's what I help my guys do, guys and gals, is get over that hump, become disciplined enough to treat that simulator like it's a live account, and then put all the pieces together, become consistently profitable on your simulator, and most traders then have a fairly smooth and relatively easy transition to live trading. So here's the benchmark of what I encourage traders to do. Before putting your hard-earned equity at risk, trade your new or revised trade specifications on a simulator for at least 2 weeks. I prefer 4. If you achieve profitability at least 4 out of 5 days each week, as predicted by your backtesting, then you can cautiously go on to live trading. One other element is on the days that you do lose, you do not violate a significant max down level. In other words, you don't lose on the days that you lose more than you can recoup in a day or two. Okay? Live trading, keep good statistics and monitor your actual results versus your trading plan results. If you see a significant variance, then you're going to want to perform a root cause analysis. What's going on? Why are things different? You need to figure that out. If during your live trading you want to make a change to any part of how you trade, then you go, believe it or not, you go back to the beginning of the roadmap process and head through it again. It's worth it. It's worth it. And here's the summary, guys. We're going to learn about who we are. We're going to assess and rate our own characteristics. We're going to use that along with the knowledge that we've acquired about all our tools to draft a trading plan. We're going to backtest that plan. We're going to sim trade that plan, and eventually we're going to move on to live trading. And we're going to go through the process several times before we actually get there. And here's why we're going to do it. Because 95 out of 100 people fail. And you don't want to be part of the 95. You want to be part of the 5. So if you took the knowledge that I just imparted on you guys, if you stop believing the lie that the system is going to save you, and you looked at the different elements that I talked about that are necessary for a trader to become consistently profitable, even if you never, look into what we're offering, and you only take that knowledge based on maybe trading systems you already have, trading knowledge you already have, I believe it can take you from getting off what I call the crazy cycle, looking for the next greatest system, to being that consistently profitable trader that you want to be. Rodney, could you go ahead and post, if you have not already, it looks like you have, some of the free trial links. So guys, I want to invite you to come out and hang out and watch what we do. We're gonna move on here. Here's my contact information. We're gonna move on now, and I'm gonna show you what some of our sniper tools have done in some markets today. Whenever I do a webinar like this, I never, cherry pick data. Oh, look what the markets did last Wednesday between 1:30 and 4 o'clock. You've seen guys do that. I always look at the present day or the day before or whatever and show you what we did. Okay, so we're going to do that. And I'm giving you guys a chance to write down some contact information. I'd love to hear from you. And let me just tell you about this week. We have the Memorial Day holiday coming up. So I'm in the trade room for the last day tomorrow, and then I'm actually taking an extended weekend with the family. So the first day a free trial will be available for you guys is next Tuesday. The markets are closed on Monday. So if anybody would like to come and spend a week with us, next Tuesday would be the day that you would want to start that, okay? But I encourage you to email me and tell me a little bit about yourself and you know, what your goals are and stuff, and we can start a little bit of a dialogue. That would be really awesome. All right, so let's go ahead and I'll bring over crude oil is one of my favorite markets to trade. We'll bring over the crude oil chart for today. And the crude oil pit opens at 9 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and look at all the trades available since 9 o'clock. Now, we have 5 different sniper scalping systems auto signals. So we have 5 different signals that are our main signals. We're going to look at 2 of them today. A lot of times I only look at 1. I decided to go ahead and look at 2, but if I try to do more than that, it's a little overwhelming and hard to follow. So I'm going to teach you guys exactly what causes these arrows to appear. The arrows are auto-generated. I didn't do anything to these arrows and these dots, these diamonds and dots. Okay, they're auto-generated by the sniper systems. So the blue arrows for buys, red arrows for sells, green diamonds and dots for buys, red dots and diamonds for sells. And the cool thing is it takes me about 90 seconds to teach you the arrow trade. It's the pulse extreme line cross trade, and about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes to teach you the standard sniper signal, which is the dots and diamonds. So one of the real, it's ATW, but if you want to look things up, you can just type in sniper scalping, and you'll find what you need to do. If you want to Google or anything, sniper scalping is the way to go that gets you to the right spots. The words sniper, one shot, one kill, sniper scalping. Okay, so here we go. Let's teach you, and let's look at this sell signal just because it's out there, and tell me if this is difficult or somewhat easy to follow. I want you to look down at this indicator down here with all these colored lines. Okay, you see the colored lines, red, green, blue, and then you have the white gap, and then you have the gray lines. Okay, and then we have this black line that kind of runs through everything, right? So here's what causes these signals to appear. The black line crosses from the colored area over the white gap to the gray area, and it has to get to the second gray line or lower, and we have to have a down closed bar. So black line we're anticipating crosses over the white gap. Once it gets to the second gray line or lower, down closed bar, the signal fires. Boom, we're short, easy winner. Same thing on the buy side. Black line's on the gray area, crosses over the white gap to the colored area, has to get to the second colored line or higher, closed bar, long, winner. Okay, so one of the things that makes these techniques and these systems so valuable to sniper owners is their visual nature. You know, after you watch these charts and these signals for a day, you know what, you've learned it. It doesn't take months, right? The other thing that's so powerful about these tools and techniques is that they've been left in their very robust form. Okay, we haven't curve fitted this stuff to produce optimal results. These babies are very robust, and they've been around for a long time. They're going to be around for a long time. But the most important thing about the fact that they've been left in their robust basic form and not over-optimized is it gives you, the trader, the ability to then take and mold these tools and systems around yourself. For example, one rule that most sniper traders use for the pulse extreme line cross arrow signals is they will not take a signal that is trading in the opposite direction of what we call our action line. This line that turns black, gray, and yellow, gray, black, yellow, black, gray, black, yellow, that line is called our action line. And they're only going to take a pulse extreme line cross signal if the action line is sloping in their favor and is gray or yellow in most cases. So that's a winner. That's a winner. We'll see some trades later on that are counter the action line that are disqualified. So that's just one example of a rule or a nuance that some traders will add to their plan. And when we talk about creating trade specifications and a trading plan, we're all different. We're all unique. And it's picking the tool or the system that's right for you and then adding 2 or 3 rules that are right for you to create your own plan. And because these systems are left in their robust form, you have the ability to do that. All right, so we talked to the pulse extreme line cross. Now let's teach you the standard sniper signal. If this market was painting in live, you would have seen a magenta sell zone here that would have appeared. It only appears when the market is trading live, so we don't see it after the fact. But what happens is this. We have a blue bars going higher. When we get 2 green bars, when that second green bar closes, then the magenta sell zone pops up on the screen. And what causes a buy signal, or a sell signal to appear in this case, is to get the market to trade up and at least touch the lower magenta or trade into the sell zone and then close down with a red bar. That's it. Short. Down here we have red bars moving lower, 2 transition green bars. Let me steal these. And the magenta, in this case, buy zone would appear on the chart after that second green bar closed. The market needs to trade down into the buy zone, close up with a blue bar, signal fires. So that's slightly more complicated, but not really too much. Once you've seen 15 or 20 of those, then it's pretty second nature. So these are the exact real live signals that occurred in our live trade room today during today's price action. Okay? As far as profit targets and stops are concerned, that is a very individualistic thing. Some traders take very short profit targets and they just do it over and over and over. Other traders look to let their profits run and they, take larger profit targets. Same thing with stops. Some traders are happy enough with having a bigger stop, so when they lose a larger amount, but their win percentage is so much higher because they don't get nicked out of when the market just wiggles around a little bit. So a general rule of thumb is a profit target, and then other traders use multiple profit targets and so on. But a profit target 1 of between 6 and 9 ticks is a pretty good general rule of thumb for most sniper traders. Some go for more, but general is 6 to 9 ticks. And then a stop, generally 5 to 8 tick stop. There's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Doesn't have to be like this, but most sniper owners do end up with a 1-to-1 reward to risk ratio or better. In other words, a larger reward to risk. Do you add to positions in such a trend? Well, these are only 2 of the 5 sniper systems. So depending on how active you want to be as a trader, we have lots of ways for you to add to the trend very effectively with different sniper tools. Okay. So here's of these 2 systems right out of the gate. I guess we're what, 5-0 there. Okay, very little heat. None of these. Well, this trade took some heat, before going higher, but only about 5 ticks. Then we move higher. You can see we get the blue bars going higher, second green bar transition. We get the standard sniper signal short. And we have our first losing trade. However, if somebody used the rule that said I'm only going to take a trade when the action line is sloping in my favor, and generally that means either a gray or a yellow action line, you wouldn't have entered this trade until over here. Boom. And it actually would have been a winner. So one other thing to mention, sometimes I forget this when I'm talking to a new audience, we enter trades at the open of the next bar. Okay, so the signal fires here. We anticipate and know when that signal is going to fire. We put our entry order to use a sell stop limit order, and we're short there. And then same thing over here. signals firing on this bar, we're going to get long at the open of that next bar. Cool thing is we have the tools tell you where to place your order. You don't have to figure it out in your head. The tools actually tell you. Okay, standard sniper signal winner, and these are big wins, guys. This is a 66. That's a 15-tick winner. $150 a contract available. So even though a lot of traders will take a target one off at 6 to 9 ticks, most of these trades have quite a bit more available. So we're watching the black line here, right? And we never did get a buy. Even though the black line crossed into the colored area, we needed to have an up-close bar here, here, and it didn't happen. So there was no signal, which was a good thing because the market wanted to roll lower. And then we get back, the black line crosses back over the white gap to the gray area, boom, short, winner. Okay, and there were some re-entry options along this move down, as you mentioned, Dan, but we're just highlighting these two systems today. So standard sniper signal, pretty aggressive trade because it's very counter trend, but nice win nonetheless. You see the black line down here in the gray area, crosses over the white gap to the colored area, signal fires. I wouldn't be going long there. I want to wait for a bar after which we've had a up close and a gray or yellow. So my entry would be the bar that green line shows. And that's the way a lot of sniper owners function with it. But you would have been okay over here as long as you had a little bit bigger stop. Okay, continuing on. Again, guys, these are auto-generated signals. These aren't just things I put on the chart. If you were in our live room taking a free trial today, you would have seen these signals pop up in real time. Okay? And look at the potential here. You know, if you're a trader that wants to hold for more, look at this run. This is huge. Let's see how far that went down. 24 down to 70. If it was 74, that would be what? 50 ticks, 52 ticks to the downside, $520 a contract available. Now, of course, you're not going to get it all, but pretty good move. Okay, another nice counter trend winner for the standard sniper here. And then we have a losing trade. Assuming you're using a 6 or 7 tick stop, you would have been stopped out. Okay, our black line here crosses over the white gap to the colored area, signal fires. Now, if you're using a little bit bigger stop, or you're letting the market tell you where to place your stop, in other words, you wait for the bar color to change, you would have stayed in this trade and had a nice win. But if you're using a little bit smaller stop, which a lot of traders do, you would have been nicked out for a loss on that one. All right, standard sniper short, nice little rounding topping formation here. These gray lines running through the chart are an automated indicator we call the DPTL, and it defines minor support resistance, so pretty good area for a short there. Another standard sniper short. Okay, pulse extreme line cross win. You're looking at the black line crosses over the white gap, boom. Black line crosses over the white gap to the colored area, long, winner. Black line crosses over the white gap to the gray area, short, winner. Standard sniper up there again at the resistance area at that line. Okay, so pretty cool and accurate signals, guys. We're not going to take this sell. Why? Because it's counter the action line. The action line sloping up, so we wouldn't be a seller. And then the black line crosses back to the buy side, so we would be a buyer there. Black line rolls back over the white gap to the gray area. Boom, we're short. Winner. Standard sniper buy here. Not a bad little bottoming formation. Okay, it's pretty counter trend still. The standard sniper signals, the dots and diamonds, tend to be very counter trend in nature. Okay, so it takes a certain personality. Short here, and then follow through again with a re-entry. Standard sniper loser here. You know, some traders would wait for action line confirmation on the standard snipers too, in which case this would be avoided, but we're just calling out the standard trades here. Pulse extreme line cross, we want to wait for that action line to at least be gray, right? So we'd be not long on the first one, although it would have been a win. We'd be long on the second one. And then we got 3 more trades here and before the crude oil pit closes at 2:30. Okay, so let's add them up. Squares are losses, circles are wins. 1, 2, 3 and 1, 3 and 2, 4, 5, 6 and 2, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 2, 11, 12, 13 and 2, 14, 15 and 3, 16, 17, 18 and 3, 19, 20, 21 and 4, although this one could have been avoided, could have been turned into a win, but we'll just count it as a loss. 21 and 4, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26 and 4. Okay? Now hear me clearly, guys. Listen. This is a pretty good day. Obviously, I didn't cherry pick the day, but this is a pretty good day. Every time you sit down at your computer and you have these systems, are we going to trade 26 and 4? What percentage is that? That's over 80%, I think. So the answer is no. Okay, the standard sniper signal and the pulse extreme line cross are not going to produce robotically 80% winners every single day. But it does happen frequently. It happened today. You know, and it's not an aberration. But the point is that while this looks really exciting, let me ask you another question. If you had this to try out, what would the first, I want to prove the big lie theory. What would your first inclination be? Would you not want to rush right out and start playing with it? You know, start looking at the signals and stuff? And that's the hardest thing not to do because it's the exact wrong thing to do. You don't know enough about this. You don't know enough about yourself. So when somebody purchases the Sniper Scalping program, they got to fight everything in their being wants to start playing with these amazing systems. But what you need to do is go through the 90 Days to Success program. Now the good, cool news is that each 90 Days to Success training video is only about 20 minutes long, so they're very easy to digest. It doesn't take long. And you can do it in a matter of days to weeks, the whole program even if you want to. And it doesn't take long to get to where you can start playing with them. But you got to not do it right away because you'll start to build roadblocks. Even if you started sim trading these right away and were wildly successful, because, you know, honestly, it's pretty hard to not be successful on a day like today, right? Really? I mean, 26 wins, 4 losses, it's, you know. But the reality is, even if you're successful, you're still going to build roadblocks and barriers to your long-term success because you're not emotionally ready to trade correctly. What happens the first day you have 3 losses in a row? Let's say you trade these systems and they're really cool and awesome, and for 3 days and you're really successful. Well, what then happens the first time you have 3 losses in a row or 4 losses in a row? Your confidence goes right down in the crapper, and you're like, oh boy, here we go again. This is going to be just like everything else I've bought in the past, right? So even if you had a great experience right out of the gate, you're still going to end up sabotaging yourself. The only way you're going to have the fortitude and the ability to stay with your trading plan is to follow the roadmap. Do the 500, look at 500 trades during your backtesting, on and on and on and on. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, we got a couple questions in here. Can you trade it on the ES? Absolutely. Truth of the matter is, Skip, the ES is a pretty slow market. It works very effectively there. We don't have too many traders that use it there just because it's such a slow market. There's a lot more, you know, other markets that give you a higher quality bang for your buck. That having been said, sometimes the slower market is exactly what certain traders want and need. So the answer is yes. We have a lot of traders that use it with the TF. The TF is a very nice market to trade. My favorite markets are crude oil, the DAX, and gold, which tend to be very quickly moving markets. But probably 4th on my list is the Russell, the TF, and it is a great market to trade. NQ and YM are also very good markets to trade. So guys, why don't we're coming up on an hour here. I don't want to roll this for too long, so feel free to fire away any questions you have. I want to stick with you guys until I make sure I get all your questions answered. Dan, simple question. Does your system work in any time frame? If you want to work on, so here's the thing. The sniper scalping tools have been designed to function on range bars. I should have mentioned that when we first brought the chart up. You'll see up here in the corner, you know, this is a pretty short range, 5 range bar. So the sniper tools have been designed to work on range bars. Range bars are different than minute bars or tick charts. How a range bar works is a new bar is painted every time you break out of a specified range. So the market moves back and forth until it creates 5 ticks, and then once it tries to create a 6th tick, a new bar paints in. And then it moves back and forth until it creates 5 ticks, and once it wants to create a 6th tick, then a new bar is created. So 6 ticks from extreme high to extreme low. So that's how a range bar works. And you absolutely can effectively apply the tools on different range bar settings. And I have guys that experiment and do some wild things on some pretty large range bars. There are also sniper traders that do apply these tools to minute time frames, but they weren't designed to do that. It doesn't mean that there's not some pretty cool applications to minute time frames and other, variations of minute time frames. But certain realities of how the systems have been created were designed for range bars, so there's not a perfect mesh. Hopefully that makes sense, Dan. Let me know if you have a follow-up question. Absolutely. Brent asked, can you use the tools to backtest 6 months, he says, but you can go back even farther than that. So Brent, here's how it works. NinjaTrader has this feature called Market Replay, and you can actually replay old data, and that data will come in exactly as it did when it happened live. And these indicators and systems will also function exactly as they did when they came in live. So you can do perfectly accurate, awesome backtesting. Sadly, Skip, the only charts I have created on this PC are crude oil and the DAX. So if anybody wanted to see the DAX, I don't have any other charts created at the moment. Here's the DAX. Had a pretty doggone good looking day also. Drawdown size per contract according to your plan. Gene, that is one of the exceptionally exciting realities of the Sniper program. Most traders' trading plans have exceptionally low drawdown. And in an audience like this, I'm a little careful because I don't want to sound unrealistic, but guys that are consistently profitable with the Sniper program, they really have very few losing days. And when they do have a losing day, they generally get that loss back the very next day. Most traders have a max down limit of somewhere between $150 and $300 a contract. So in other words, they're not going to lose more than $100 to $350 $300 a contract, $150 to $300. So, you might trade 10 contracts if you have a huge account, so you'd multiply your drawdown based on that. But the guys that are there and are to the consistently profitable level, we're all gonna mess up as traders. Occasionally, the market's gonna send us a lemon, and the systems are gonna have a bad day. But for the most part, it's really very few losing days for guys that have made it all the way through and found a plan that works for them. Dale says, what about trading currencies? So I really prefer the future currencies as opposed to the spot Forex, but we do have plenty of guys trading the euro, and that's really the main currency most people trade, but you can't. The systems work fine. The Sniper works fine on various currencies. How much computer power do you need to run your program? That's an interesting question. So my belief is that you really want to have decent technology. You're putting your hard-earned money at risk. You don't need to have the latest, greatest, but you can go, if you really want to be serious about what you're doing, you can go out and buy a $500 to $600 computer that'll have every bit of the muscle you need. So the answer is you don't need a really strong beast, but at the same time, you want to have something that's, you want to have at least an i5 with some, 8 gigabytes of RAM. i7's better, but you can get those types of PCs now for $400 to $600. Okay. Yes, this was recorded, and we will send a recording of it out to everyone who registered. Absolutely. Great question. Do you use 5 range on all futures? So the answer to that is no. Like, for example, the S&P is a much slower moving market, and usually you'll use a 3 to 4 range on an ES chart. A lot of them, I do gold, the DAX, and crude oil, I use a 5 range, but sometimes that changes too. That's not always the same, because guess what? The markets are not always the same, are they? The markets do change. From a bear market to a bull market to a consolidating market to a really volatile market. These systems and tools have functioned in every market condition imaginable is what I meant to say, and they've been outstanding. But we do shift and alter how we trade them based on different market conditions, and one of the things that will occasionally shift, it doesn't very frequently. Like, I've been using 5 range bars now for 7 months or so. Excuse me, yeah, 5 range for 6, 7 months. But that doesn't mean, a year from now, I might not be using a 6 or 7 range bar chart, for example. Let's see. The system indicates entries. Does it indicate exits and stops? So that's a great question, and the answer to that is no, for a very specific reason. Guys, we don't teach robot at the ATW. We do not. Robotic trading does not work. We want to teach you to be a trader with a systematic plan, a clearly defined written plan that you follow exclusively. But we don't want you to be a robot. And every trader is different. Every person's key trader characteristics is different. So my risk profile, the size stop that I use, might not be the right size stop for you. So part of the 90 Days to Success program is to help you learn who you are, and then you define your profit target and your stop profile based on who you are. Okay, so the system doesn't specifically, that's not built into the system. That would be pretty significant curve fitting. You determine that. Now you can build that into how you trade it. If you're not familiar with NinjaTrader, you can pre-program in a 6-tick profit target and a 6-tick stop, or an 8-tick profit target and a 5-tick stop, and you can, once the trade is entered, you can let NinjaTrader do all the rest. So the answer is, I guess, 2. Yes, you can program it in, and that is predetermined for you, but I don't tell you what it is. In other words, I'm not going to tell you what size stop you should use. I'm going to give you guidelines, and then you have to determine what size stop you're going to use based on who you are. Hopefully that makes sense. Yeah, so you are 100% ready to rock, Brent, with a computer from Eddie Z. You are going to be ready to completely tear it up. No problem at all. Awesome, Deanna. So guys, Rodney's been posting a free trial link and another link that is to sign up for our recap series that I think you'll find valuable as well. If you kind of want to watch from afar and don't want to jump right into a free trial, then you could sign up for that recap series, and you'll get emails once or twice a week, giving you a download link for a video to watch and that kind of thing. Do you trade on the floor pit before? Did you? Was I a floor trader in the pit? No, I never was a floor trader in the pit. However, I've spent some time at the Chicago Merc, just as a guest, and it is kind of fun. But no, I never personally was a floor trader. I've always been sitting behind my computer and making it happen that way. So the platform that I use is called NinjaTrader. I encourage you guys to go ahead and Google Ninja, like the martial arts, NinjaTrader, if you're not familiar with it. It is definitely, in my opinion, the premier platform for futures traders, but can be used for lots of stuff. Any other questions before we wrap it up for today, guys? Yeah, honestly, Dan says most computer traders today have never been floor traders. And the truth of the matter is, you know, the old guard sometimes has a trouble transitioning. You know, I personally know several floor traders who are struggling like mad to make the transition, because it's completely different. You know, how it works and the information you analyze and decipher. Floor trading, I don't want to make it seem this simplistic, but you know, some of the guys that were crazy successful had a lot more gut feel to it, and they just could really sense the order flow and different things like that in a way that you can't do the same. Not that you can't do it at all, but you can't do it the same with computers. All right, hey, it has been awesome to spend the last hour and a little with you guys. Send me an email. Let me go back to that email slide here. I'd love to hear from you guys. Tell me a little bit about yourself. You know, if you want to come to a free trial starting next week, markets are closed on Monday, but starting Tuesday, that would be outstanding. I'd love to hang out with you, and you can hang with us in the live room and see us do our thing and watch these systems and signals that we just showed you pop up live in real time. It's kind of fun, okay? And if there's anything I can do to support you or any questions you have, use that email. I'd love to hear from you. All right, everybody, take care. Have a great rest of your evening and an awesome Wednesday. And I hope to get an email from you guys or see you for a free trial maybe next week, huh? Sounds good. Take care, everybody, and good luck and good trading to you.